Our 3-week cruise continues with stops in Acapulco and Panama City, here with Travelin' Joe. Hello everyone, this is Travelin' Joe and welcome to part 4 of our series on our cruise from Seattle to Miami. The next stop on our cruise is Acapulco, Mexico. If you're enjoying our videos, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get the tour started. After leaving Puerto Vallarta, we spent a day at sea and now we arrived at Acapulco. This is day 11 of our cruise and we begin in sunny Acapulco. Acapulco is located in the Mexican state of Guerrero on the Pacific coast. It is also Mexico's largest beach resort city. Acapulco is set on a large bay backed by high-rises and the Sierra Madre del Sur mountains. It was known as the Riviera of Mexico and is famous for its beaches and deep-sea fishing. We booked an excursion which includes cliff diving and highlights of Acapulco. We're heading up to La Quebrada, which is one of the most famous tourist attractions in Acapulco. There are 2 cliffs from which the divers jump, one at 100 feet and the other at 135 feet. The cliff divers show can be seen daily at the El Mirador Hotel. They also have a special viewing area. Cliff diving has taken place for many years, and in 1934, the La Quebrada Cliff Divers were formed. The 1963 movie Fun in Acapulco with Elvis Presley brought the cliffs to worldwide attention. And I could personally remember watching it on the wide world of sports when I was growing up. On the left side of the screen, you could see the divers getting ready to perform. The Guinness Book of World Records lists this as the highest regularly performed headfirst dives in the world. You can see our first diver in the upper right corner. The divers must calculate the right moment to jump to catch an incoming wave. Here we have 3 divers getting ready for their dive. And here we have one more diver. After the divers perform, entertainment is provided. Okay, we left the hotel and are continuing with our tour. Although Acapulco is most famous for its beaches, there are numerous outside parks and recreational areas to enjoy. There are also exclusive golf clubs in Acapulco, many of which are owned and operated by different resorts. Our tour bus is heading up the hills of Acapulco. And just like we did in Puerto Vallarta, we'll be able to get some stunning views of the city. We stopped at one of the vista points and were able to get beautiful views of the city. As you can see, Acapulco sits on a semicircular bay. Acapulco is also said to have the best harbor on the Pacific coast of Mexico. Acapulco was made famous by the jet set in the 1950s and 60s. It was once a gateway for Hollywood stars and millionaires. Our bus is heading back down the hills as we head to Acapulco's hotel area. Acapulco's main tourist area is known as the Golden Zone and is covered with high-rise hotels, bars, nightclubs, restaurants, and shops. The Golden Zone, or Zona Dorada, is considered to be the best place to stay in Acapulco. This is also one of the best areas for beach lovers, since there is an extensive strip of sand and crystal clear waters. Although Acapulco doesn't enjoy the prominence and popularity that it once did, it is starting to make a comeback. Our tour is nearly complete and we're making our way back to our ship. Before we head out, we have one last chance to get a look at Acapulco. We're going to be at sea for several days as we head down the coast of Mexico and Central America to our next port, Panama City, Panama. Okay, our ship has departed Acapulco and we're heading down the Pacific coast. Next stop, Panama City, Panama. After a few days at sea, we made it to our next destination, Panama City, Panama. We booked an excursion called Highlights of Panama City. Let's get our tour started. Our tour begins in the historic area of Panama City. Founded in 1519, Panama City is the oldest continuously occupied European settlement on the America's Pacific coast. Casco Viejo, which is Spanish for Old Quarter, is the historic district of Panama City. It was completed and settled in 1673. It was built following the near total destruction of the original Panama City in 1671, when the latter was attacked by pirates. It has also been designated as a World Heritage Site in 1977. Casco Viejo has become a tourist destination filled with restaurants, hotels, and nightclubs. But the area has also maintained many of the historic sites that it's noted for. One of the most beautiful churches is the Church of San Jose. And while the church may look modest from the outside, the inside is a completely different story. The church has many stunning altars that are intricately carved and ornately decorated. This architectural wonder dates all the way back to 1673. The church is wildly popular for its breathtaking golden altar. To the right of the altar is a separate room with a beautiful nativity scene. The scene is enormous and covers 2 walls. The scene not only depicts the birth of Jesus, but many aspects of his life. The attention to detail is superb. Just down the street you'll find the ruins of the Church of the Society of Jesus. Originally a church, convent, and school, it later became the first university in Panama. It was closed in 1767. At the center of Casco Viejo is what the locals call Independence Square. This is a popular tourist area and it features a gazebo surrounded by numerous historic buildings. Among them are the Metropolitan Cathedral and the Panama Canal Museum. This historic area is very important to Panamanians because this is where they declared their independence from Spain and later from Colombia. And while the city is rich in history, it also has a vibrant metropolis. Panama City is the financial and economic center of the country of Panama and is heavily weighted toward commerce, banking, and tourism. The city has a population of just over 880,000 and has 1.5 million in its metropolitan area. The city is home to many high-rise buildings, and most notably is the F&F Tower. The building was formerly known as the Revolution Tower and is definitely one of the most unique buildings you'll ever see. Our next stop takes us to the Museum of the Plaza Mayor. The museum is located within the monumental complex of Old Panama. There's a giant map that simulates how the city looked in its best days, with illuminated markers which help you locate the buildings that you can visit. All of these buildings are in ruins, which we'll see in just a few minutes. In addition, you'll find ceramic items, spearheads for hunting and fishing tools. The museum is located within the historic monuments of Panama Viejo, so all the ruins are just outside the door. The museum is where the architectural site is understood and interpreted as people of pre-Hispanic and Hispanic times lived. As we move outside of the museum, we come to the ruins of the old city, which is a popular tourist attraction known as Panama Viejo. The main focal point is the old Panama Cathedral, where you can walk up to the top of the tower. Panama Viejo, or Old Panama, is the last remaining part of the original Panama City, and it too has been designated a World Heritage Site. As mentioned earlier, this is the oldest continuously occupied European settlement in the Pacific coast of the Americas. The layout and scale of Old Panama remain largely unchanged from its original form, which means you'll have the opportunity to walk through history. If you come to Panama City and you enjoy history, then you'll definitely like this tour. Okay, it's time to head back to the ship. I enjoyed the tour of Panama City, but now the best is yet to come. Our trip through the Panama Canal is tomorrow night. Can't wait to share the experience with you. In our next video, we'll be traveling through the Panama Canal, so please be sure to stay tuned. And also be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.